Happy Friday from the fabulous Florida Keys. I'm Gary McAdams with eXp Realty. If you want to trust the weather forecast, we're supposed to get some cooler weather come in this weekend. They're predicting it's going to be in the low to mid 70s all weekend, which I know isn't cold by any means, but when you consider we've been in the mid to upper 80s for the last month consistently, it'll be a nice cool break. This is my morning market MLS update video I do every day right about this same time. I report all the new listings in Key West and the lower Keys that have come on the market in the last 24 hours. If you watch this video, you'll be ahead of most buyers. You'll know about every new listing from Big Pine Key down to Key West the same day the realtors know about them. That's very valuable information for a buyer to have. My experience has been most buyers wait for a home to come on to Realtor.com or Zillow or Trulia or one of those websites before they inquire, and a problem they face a lot of the times is by the time those sites put a home live online, it's already been on the multiple listing service a couple days and all the good deals are already under contract. If you watch this video every morning and you see something you like, you can call me right away and we can make an appointment to go see the home, or I'll go preview it on your behalf. And if you like what you see, we can write up an offer and have you under contract before most buyers ever even knew the home was available for sale. You can also get a much more detailed description of these listings, including photographs, if you follow my blog, keywestinvesting.com. There's a lot more information on the homes in the blog, a lot more details, any unique features the home might have, things like room uses, room dimensions, photos of the inside of the home, photos of the outside of the home. If the home happens to have a pool that happens to be waterfront, there'll be photos of the water view, photos of the boat dockage, photos of the pool. It's just a lot more information that I can cram into a couple-minute quick YouTube video. Again, that web address is keywestinvesting.com. We had a fairly busy day today with listings. We had 7 new listings come on the market in Key West and the lower Keys. Before I give you the information on the listings, though, the state of Florida's legal department makes me cover the boring stuff. The information I'm about to give you comes directly from the Florida Keys multiple listing service. I'm not accepting any responsibility for any of these listings. I'm not claiming any of these listings to be my own listings. And I'm not accepting any responsibility for any inaccuracies there may be in this information. I'm simply reading it to you right from the Florida Keys multiple listing service. The first house we have is in Key West's Old Town neighborhood on Ash Street. Ash Street's one of my favorite streets in Key West, especially in Old Town. It's far enough away from Duval Street and all the tourist attractions that it's still quiet, but yet it's close enough that you could easily walk down there when you want to partake in it. The majority of the homes on Ash Street are all very high-end, upscale homes. They say your house is only as nice as the one next door to you, and you'll be surrounded by beautiful homes if you're on Ash Street. This one's listed kind of in a unique way. It's a single-family house. The original listing's calling it a 4-bedroom, 3-bathroom, 2,127 square foot house. It's 2 buildings on one property. If you look at the blog, keywestinvesting.com, you'll see it says that it's 2 buildings. One is a 3-bedroom, 2-bathroom. The other is a 2-bedroom, 1-bathroom. Mathematics was not my major in college, but 3 bedrooms and 2 bedrooms does not equal 4 bedrooms. So that's a little bit off there. It's also listed separately for sale, too, each individual building. The front building, the 3-2, was offered at $1,650,000. The back building, the 2-1, is offered at $1,200,000. Or you can buy them both together. They're listed together as the whole package for $2,850,000, which is an excellent price. My personal opinion is you could probably get the whole package for less than the list price if they're willing to sell them separately at $1,650,000 and $1,200,000. That's exactly the list price of $1,280,000. So you might get, a bulk discount rate, shall we say. Great property in a great location. It's worth taking a look at. Then we go to Chapman Lane in Key West's Bahama Village neighborhood in Old Town. Chapman Lane's a nice street, very quiet, small lane. Any of you that have been in Key West for years and years probably remember Mr. Chapman riding around on the old the big tricycle with the boombox, playing the music, dancing, and all the lights on it. He had kind of long white hair, and I call it the circus mustache, the twirlies. Mr. Chapman was like a Key West icon. He was very good to all the kids in Key West and kept a lot of the kids that could have been troubled kids out of trouble. We really miss him. Mr. Chapman passed a couple of years ago. But back to the house. This is a 3-bedroom, 2-bathroom, 1,109 square foot house. It's about 2.5 blocks off Duval Street, very close to the Coffee Butler Amphitheater if you want to go see a concert, very close to the Truman Water Park, very close to Fort Zachary Taylor State Park, which is, in my opinion, the nicest beach in all of Key West. Very close to Mallory Square if you want to get out and see Key West's famous Sunset Festival. And another great feature this house has, which a lot of them in this neighborhood don't have, is off-street parking. And that close to Duval Street in this neighborhood is called Bahama Village. Parking on the street in Bahama Village can be very difficult, so that off-street parking is a great feature. This one's offered at $1,485,000, which is a very good price for a house of that nature in Old Town, so close to Duval Street. Then we go to White Street. We have a 4-bedroom, 5-bathroom, 2,048 square foot house. This is a great large house. It's on an oversized lot of land. Has a beautiful pool, and it has off-street parking for a couple of cars, which is a nice feature on White Street. White Street's a pretty busy street. It's being offered at $3,199,000. I won't say that's overpriced, but it's definitely at the top of the price point, with White Street being such a busy street. But on the same end, it's also an easy walk or bicycle ride to Duval Street, or an easy walk or bicycle ride down to the beach. So the location is pretty good if you don't mind the busy street. And we have a lot of off-street parking. It shouldn't really be a problem. It's a very good location. Then we go to Flagler Ave in Key West's Midtown neighborhood. There's a 3-bedroom, 2-bathroom, 2,274 square foot house. Flagler Ave is a very busy street traffic-wise. It's the street most of the locals use to cut through the middle of Key West to go downtown. This one's being offered at $1,629,000, and at 2,274 square feet, that's a pretty big house by Key West standards, but I still think with that Flagler Ave location, it's a little overpriced. Personally, I wouldn't want to live on Flagler at all just because of the traffic and the noise, regardless of the price, but this isn't extremely overpriced, but it's definitely at the top of the price point for Flagler Ave. Then we go up to Sugarloaf Key to Tamarand Road. We have a 3-bedroom, 2-bathroom, 3,086 square foot house. It is on the open bay looking across at the other side of Lower Sugarloaf Key. Very upscale neighborhood called South Point. All the houses are extremely upscale, nice houses, great boating community. This one is on the open water, open bay. Has a nice pool right on the water. You can watch the Key West, the Florida Keys sunrise, I should say. It's facing east, the Florida Keys sunrise, sitting in your pool. The dockage on this one is very minimal. If you look at the photos in the blog, keywestinvesting.com, you'll see it has one small pontoon boat on a dock. And all the trees that surround that dock are mangrove trees. You cannot touch the mangroves by law. They're very, very protected. So that small dock you see today is the same small dock you'll have for pretty well the length of time you own the home. This one is offered at an extremely, extremely high price. It's $4,495,000. I'm going to just make math easy and call it $5 million. And it's by no means a $5 million home. Then we go to Cudjoe Key on Thatch Lane. There's a 4-bedroom, 4-bathroom, 2,548 square foot house. This house is 2 stories, which would theoretically make it 3 stories above the ground. The ground level in the Keys, anything built after 1975, has to be 8 foot above sea level. So what they're considering the first floor would actually be the elevation height of the second floor. And where this house is located, looking out at the open ocean, up on the 3rd floor, you get some great open water views. It has a nice pool right on the water side. It is on the dead end of a canal. That concerns me a little bit because the canal is facing southeast, which is our predominant breeze. The dead end of the canals can tend to have the seaweed conjugate there at a low tide, and it can get pretty smelly. It's also not a real big dock space. It's a concrete house built like a solid fortress, and it's being offered at $1,850,000, which that's another one. I won't call it overpriced, but it's definitely at the top of the price point for the neighborhood. Then on Powell Ave on Little Torch Key, there's a 4-bedroom, 2-bathroom, 1,568 square foot canal front home. This house has a pool right on the canal side, and it also has a cutout boat ramp on the property. You have your own private boat ramp, which is a very valuable feature. You can't do those anymore by law. The Army Corps doesn't allow you to do that anymore. So that it is grandfathered in. You can keep it. If it gets damaged, you can maintain it. But no other house, any house that does not have one would never get one. So you have a unique feature there. This house is what they call pre-firm, where I mentioned earlier the houses built after 1975 have to be 8 foot above sea level by law. This house was built in 1968, so the living area down below on the ground level is legal living area. However, again, if you go back to the blog, I keep referencing the blog a lot today because we have a lot of houses that the information and the details, where I say the blog has a lot more information, is pertinent here. It's listed as a single-family house on the listing. You'll see that on the blog. It's listed as a single-family house in the Monroe County Tax Collector's Office. It's listed as a single-family house in the Monroe County Property Appraiser's Office. But the listing description in the blog is calling it 2 units that you can use to rent, and each unit, it says, has a second kitchen. It has its own kitchen, so it has a second kitchen. The living area downstairs is definitely legal because it's what they call pre-firm. Anything built before 1975 with the legal downstairs living area. If you hear the term pre-firm, that's what it means, as it was built before 1975. So the living area is legal. However, as a single-family house, they're not allowed to have 2 kitchens. So you can probably get away with renting it as 2 houses for years. I know many people that have them. I know many people that have rented them and getting away with it for decades. More than likely, you could too. That being said, as a realtor, I am required by law to tell you, no, it is a single-family house, and to rent it as 2 separate units would be illegal. And that's all we have for today. If you want to take a look at any of these homes or any home anywhere in the Florida Keys, give me a call at 305-731-0501. I look forward to hearing from you. I look forward to showing you homes in the fabulous Florida Keys. And more importantly, I look forward to making you my neighbor. I'm Gary McAdams with eXp Realty.